I wanted to call this video From Prince to Pauper, but then I decided that Face Down in the Dirt would be better. I considered From Hero to Crap, but decided not to use that word in the title. Who doesn't know Robert De Niro? Who doesn't know him? Famous roles: Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, young Corleone in The Godfather, Goodfellas, Once Upon a Time in America. Then he started repeating himself, sticking out his jaw and making the same face in a bunch of movies. But he still remained an icon. He remained. Even doing this.
It's not that simple. How is it? Well, how is it, Sin?
Well, it's not that great, but an idol can do anything. Well, almost anything.
They say that Robert De Niro is truly a big movie star, but he has to wear lifts, like he's a dwarf at a Golden Corral buffet trying to reach the gravy. Look at that, wow. This is truly special. Robert De Niro is not a big leading actor. Actually, he's a very small man. He's 5 feet 10 inches tall. Robert De Niro doesn't quite reach the 6-foot mark. You know what I mean? But he acts cool. Robert De Niro is always saying something like this.
I'll say one thing, Kay.
Damn.
Trump.
Oh, how brave. So amazing he was. 920, this is such a Make America Great Again audience, really, to say this too. The real danger is there, in the center of Manhattan Island.
You have to be very brave to consider Trump a dictator, a tyrant, a fascist. But it seems to me no one in this hall is afraid of Trump. But if he is a fascist worse than Hitler and Stalin, a dictator who sends troops into cities to crush resistance, then you should be afraid of him. But I know that on Broadway and in Hollywood live fearless heroes, what are their roles like approximately? Yeah, they're kind of super cool, really.
Like,
Just in the out.
now it's not just down with Trump, but to...
To hell with Trump. Wow, just pure courage. Truly amazing and brave. Right when Robert De Niro came out to speak outside the trial against President Trump in New York, and people kept setting off their car alarms to annoy him.
What does that mean? Is this the country we want to live in? We want him to run this country. I said, I'm not leaving. I'm a dictator for life, Robert.
De Niro was really confused. This is...
Really, even these people here, it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy. And this was all created by Donald Trump.
When De Niro was given a microphone on the street, he started shouting the same thing, just at passersby. But the passersby didn't stop, they just brushed him off. And Robert said, Trump created them.
He was supposed to tell them not to do it, but he's just him. He is.
It's amazing what happens to Robert De Niro when he doesn't have scripts and lines in front of him and all the teleprompters and cues. Robert De Niro probably thought he was really popular and famous in New York. Robert De Niro probably thought he was kind of cool. You're a soft loser, you're a failure, get out.
We will resist. They're trying to start Ebola. We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. You're a gangster. You're all gangsters.
Step aside, guys. Let me through. Step aside, guys. Step aside.
You're a dirty stray.
Step aside.
Step aside.
An angry, feeble old man rages in the streets. I think Washington, yes, crowded, appears to be near the Supreme Court. The crowd laughs and shouts, "Goat!"
Robert De Niro, you see him sitting there shouting at the protest. Look at all these people. I freaking finished him off.
You damn it.
We hate you. I think it's funny. I mean, you know, you just have to let them taste their own medicine. That's all. Really, no, those people didn't do anything violent. You know, the left would physically attack, they shout and just use their freedom of speech and then say it's okay, what's up? I mean, look at MAGA. They show up to yell at De Niro saying he's washed up and De Niro gets worked up. See that little guy? He's hard to see because he's so short. See how he's sitting there pointing his finger. Look at him right there pointing, yelling, and shouting. He gets upset. No one has ever snapped at Robert De Niro.
So what he was urging the crowd to do to the Republicans, the crowd started doing to him. He got so upset he was nearly in tears and even a bit angry. Of course, the president didn't miss this, and the country's main cynic immediately wrote,
I never knew how small De Niro was, both mentally and physically. Today, De Niro, who suffers from Trump derangement syndrome, known as Trump derangement syndrome, faced a force outside the courthouse that far exceeded his frame. Radical leftist wizards. Robert, whose movies, art, and brand have declined in value since entering politics for crooked Joe Biden, looked pathetic and sad. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
he didn't send Robert there where Robert sent him. He just made a sarcastic remark and forgot about it, but De Niro didn't forget. He should be by the fireplace with a glass of warm mulled wine or grog, but instead he's going around television studios talking and talking and talking.
We see it, we always see it, we see it all the time. He won't want to leave. He set this up with his Goebbels in the office, Stephen Miller. He's a Nazi. Yes, he is. And he's Jewish, and he should be ashamed.
So, by calling someone a Nazi, by noting that he's a Nazi and Jewish, I said that he should be ashamed of it. I don't know, I think he should be ashamed of being a Nazi, not of being Jewish, but maybe also of being Jewish. And who do you like? From politicians? They asked him. Just shortly before this, just so it's clear before this interview, Governor Newsom, the California governor, basically, set half of Los Angeles on fire. It turned out that the money that was supposed to go for irrigation, for water, for aqueducts, and so on was spent on supporting illegal immigrants.
No, I like what Newsom did because he trolled him and he went and fought fire with fire. And that's what needs to be done. And he called him an invasive species, which he is. So it's not like he's something that doesn't understand Trump, doesn't understand anything about the man, about humanity, about people. He has no empathy. I don't know where or what he is, but he's an alien. He's not an artist. Flaw. Corporation amazes people. The last one received the net. Rubio, Udemy, Ernst are dancing in front of the face. Flesh it.
That is, imagine that people can have a different point of view, and maybe we can imagine that, right? Maybe we like it, maybe we don't. But Robert De Niro can't imagine that. I think I know why. He's dumb but funny. I remember him as a comedian in the movie King of Comedy. Funny but dumb. But that's something that often happens with actors, by the way. I don't mean there are many funny ones. In fact, there are few funny ones and many dumb ones. And everyone loves to lecture and scare others.
I like what Letitia James is doing. She's fighting back. She's saying, screw you. Sorry, but that's where we are. That's what she's saying. That's it. I'm not going to let this person break me. I'm not afraid of him. And God bless her for that. That's how other people should be. I saw something about immigration and customs enforcement who came and took some woman, a black woman, who was saying, well, it was really strange. Honey, I was on the news. I watched it yesterday after someone sent it to me. She put it down, and those guys, those immigration and customs enforcement guys, that she was right, and they'd better not mess with her. And that's what it takes. People who say they've had enough of this, and we've all had enough, it's right in front of us. People need to stand up, do it politely, peacefully, and all that. You don't want to give him a reason to do what we're all talking about. He might want to do it and call it, an act of rebellion and all that. So
he said, thank God it has to be done peacefully. At least he did that, right?
For me, he's more than that. Actually, he's sick. He's truly a seriously ill person who somehow was allowed into our system. And I'm not calling him that. I'm tired of insults. He simply can't be anywhere near the president's office.
You've played many villains. Would you consider playing Donald Trump?
Never. He is me. There's nothing in him. Not a single redeeming quality that I can see. Ever. Never. And it's funny, I just thought since he actually became president, he could have done good things.
Instead, he had to do everything wrong.
He's just, as we all know, so narcissistic and self-centered. Well,
What would you say to those who say, I don't like him, but I'm going to vote for him? What message do you have for them?
I don't understand that. I don't think they realize how dangerous it would be if he ever, God forbid, became president. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see,
I wonder if De Niro knows that, well, when you curse, they will cut it out and mute it, or rather turn on the beep. Not mute, but turn on the beep. So they erase it and turn it on there. Well, how should I put it? You've probably heard it many times. Nevertheless, swearing at your mother.
a lot of criticism.
Towards you. Well, you know, it's cable.
Sorry. This person shouldn't be president, period. And
Whenever you say that Fox attacks you, I remember Tony swearing when he spoke out. You faced a lot of criticism. All right, it's cable, sorry. So not in Federal Communications Commission violation? It's still Sunday morning. We're on point. I really don't know why you decided. Let me say something. Why are you choosing to go this way?
we are at a moment in our lives, in this country, when this guy is acting like a gangster. He arrived, spoke, and acted. And again, we say this is terrible. We're in a terrible situation. We're in a terrible situation. And this guy just keeps going and going, and no one stops him. I don't know. I think part of him, I think he's kind of crazy in a way. Part of him is just crazy. If not for you, Cable News Network, Microsoft, and the National Broadcasting Corporation, the New York Times, and the Washington Post, where would we be? It's a crazy world. This guy is insane, and we need to get rid of him.
Do you mean crazy medically? That gets criticized fast.
Well, maybe in a medical sense, too. I'm starting to think so. I didn't used to think that.
You know, I'm curious, as an actor, do you ever look at the president and think he's performing like he's playing a role or something like that?
In some way, I think he is, but I wonder in what way. I think some of those other commentators on Fox do too, because I can't believe they actually buy into this craziness. To me,
it seems like this is a great example of how what we call here is Trump derangement syndrome. That is, well, a disease, a syndrome of obsession or mania with Trump. With De Niro, with these people who have caught this, yes, there are no proofs, no examples, no explanations. Well, he's a fascist, he's an enemy, he's a dictator. Everything he does is absolutely terrible. Everyone who is with him are either liars or deceivers. I mean, well, liars and deceivers are the same thing. Or they're stupid, or they're deceivers. Everyone who is with him needs to be removed. There. No, well, what do you think? Can you calmly and reasonably discuss things with De Niro, or will he start foaming at the mouth? Well, after Charlie Kirk died, he was shot. De Niro started dancing with happiness and joy, like glad to be rid of one of them. And that's when his whining and lying crossed the line. We conservatives began writing and speaking out. We won't go to any more movies or shows with De Niro.
Charlie Kirk left, and Hollywood just can't keep quiet about it. Reactions are spreading like wildfire, and some of the statements are just astonishing. From Robert De Niro's wild tirades to the full-blown media circus of Weta Chistaya and chaos, we're breaking down every shocking twist.
I'm not going to say your movies suck. That's not true. The movies don't suck. No, his movies are great. He's one of the best actors, basically Brando's heir, but he's crazy. You just have to acknowledge who he is. He does his own thing. That's how I usually explain it. You know what's happening now because people are aware of concussions, and you know about the problems with chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, when you get hit and have a concussion in football, they put you in the blue tent. But
it's time for the left to lose control, and the person who'd win Olympic gold for Trump derangement syndrome, once a great actor turned into a pathetic clown, Robert De Niro is once again sharing his sharp political views that no one asked for. Remember when he said Donald Trump would target him if reelected?
There's absolutely nothing redeeming about him. No way. If he wins the election, you won't be on this show anymore. He'll come after me. He will. Things will happen. Things that none of us can imagine. That's what's happening in
Such a dictatorship.
Well, Donald Trump was reelected, it's possible, Robert, and it happened. And somehow, incredibly, Robert De Niro is not in a detention camp. He hasn't been silenced at all. In fact, he's back on television, making a complete fool of himself. Let's listen to this latest crazy, delirious, devilish, stupid monologue.
This is a matter of right and wrong, period. This guy's a monster. He's beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things he can think of just to get a reaction out of us. I don't know what it is, but he keeps doing it over and over, and it's scary.
I have some good news for you. De Niro is noticeably getting fewer acting offers. I mean, I would say that in the past few months already. And after Kirk, the trickle just dried up. Producers know that half the country won't go to movies with him in them, myself included. We just won't, that's all. When I see his movie on some, let's say, streaming service, I skip it too. I'm not interested. I don't want to watch anything with that scumbag. That's it. Well, I just won't do it, that's all, so to speak. I have no other explanation. But we're not demanding that he not be filmed there, or not be hired or be fired. We're not demonstrating anything. We just don't go to watch movies with him in them. And the old man, he's 6 years older than me.
He stood up.
He became no longer needed by anyone. That's how bad it is when you're dumb, subtitles. So dumb that you don't even realize you should hide your stupidity and keep quiet. His mom never told him that speech is silver, but silence is golden. Oh, well, let him be. Let him sit there. He has enough money to, as they say, God bless him, quietly drink his liquor or whatever he's going to drink and gossip. And I really hope that he won't appear in our lives anymore. Goodbye, Robert De Niro, once a good actor.